So welcome to Calendar, and first this evening to the ongoing row over the possible housing of asylum seekers at a former RAF base, which was once home to the Red Arrows and the Dam Busters Squadron.
A public meeting is being held this evening after the government earmarked RAF Scampton as a potential site, much to the surprise of the local council, which secured a deal worth £300 million to transform it into a heritage and business centre.
Martin Fisher is live in the village for us now. And Martin, I think it's fair to say this could be quite a lively meeting.
Yes, indeed it could, and people are already arriving for it. It's going to take place in the school behind me there. The lights are on in the hall where it will be happening. This, of course, the first public meeting since the announcement 2 weeks ago that RAF Scampton could be used to house up to 1,500 asylum seekers, and this is where they'd be put, in the barracks behind me that used to be home to RAF members. Now, since that announcement, of course, there was an announcement 24 hours earlier, and that was by West Lindsey District Council to say a £300 million deal had been done to transform all of this into an aviation centre of excellence and have an active runway. Now it's not clear whether that's going to go ahead, and that's caused a lot of concern amongst local people. Joining me now from the Parish Council is Tony Somerville. Tony, let's just talk about the process first of all. 1 minute it's going to be an aviation centre, the next an asylum centre. Were you shocked by that?
Completely shocked. We had no idea that announcement was due. I mean, why would you take £300 million away from the local area? You know, complete disbelief.
What have people been saying to you since they heard the news?
Again, they're in disbelief. They're shocked. We're looking forward to investment, more job prospects, and it appears that this could all be taken off the table. So, you know, people are concerned.
There is an argument, of course, that these are asylum seekers, are vulnerable people, and we have a duty of care to look after them. And these are empty buildings, after all. It would seem like a good fit. Do you understand that argument?
We can understand where the concepts come from, but we just haven't got the local amenities. There's one small shop that looks after the 690 people on Scampton. We've got a small co-op in Welton. The hospital's under a lot of pressure. 1,500 single males in porter cabins. I mean, how do you occupy them? How do you keep them entertained about their mental well-being? Why not break them into smaller groups, integrate them into society so they can be part of the society instead of isolated on an old airbase. It's such a shame that we're going to possibly lose this investment if we don't pull together and put this right.
Okay, Tony, thanks very much. Well, as I said, the meeting will be going ahead in roughly an hour's time. We'll be staying here for that meeting, and we'll bring you a full report on tomorrow's programme.
OK, Martin Fisher live at RAF Scampton, thank you.
Well, the controversy over Scampton has made its way to Westminster, and today the chairman of the company poised to develop the site has been in London, and he's been speaking to our political correspondent Katie Oscroft. Katie, what's his message to the government?
Well, Ian, the chairman of Scampton Holdings, Peter Hewitt, is hoping that his company will bring new jobs to the military base in the form of preserving the airfield and attracting tourism. He went to the Home Office today and told the Immigration Minister directly that all of that investment in an area which is supposed to be in line for levelling up is now at risk of not happening.
Is it 1,500 immigrants, or is it a £300 million development? Problem is you can't do both, and the practicalities of the site just make that impossible. As much as we would like to accommodate and to help, Scampton isn't the place, and it concerns me enormously that we've got that we've got this choice.
So, Katie, is there any sign that the Home Office may bow to the pressure?
Well, Ian, the problem here is that the Home Office is under incredible pressure to get asylum seekers out of hotels in areas like Skegness, where a fairly small population had to suddenly welcome fairly large numbers of migrants. Around 6 hotels are in use there. Now, the government agrees that hotels aren't suitable, but yet again the Home Secretary was under the cosh in the Commons today over her policies on asylum seekers.
Currently, because of the influx of illegal migrants, because our modern slavery and asylum system has been overwhelmed, thanks to the efforts of the people smuggling gangs, we are unable to help those genuine victims for whom we owe a clear duty.
Well, the government is under pressure from all sides. Its own MPs are lining up against the Home Office. Today, 40 historians signed a letter to the Home Secretary calling for the plans for the former RAF Scampton to be scrapped. An online petition, well, the last time I looked at that, it was racing towards the 20,000 mark. And the Home Office said today, well, it says we continue to work across government and with local authorities to identify a range of accommodation options. Well, the MP whose constituency Scampton is in, Sir Edward Lee, he remains convinced that Scampton is the top of the government's list. He will be at that meeting tonight, making his opposition to the government's plans very, very clear.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Thanks very much indeed. Katie Oscroft live at Westminster.